A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
This perfect moment was created for Harvey's Bristol Cream, the best sherry in the world.
A delicate fragrance from Lonthric. Light, fresh, and very feminine. Fleur by Lonthric.
Great family entertainment this Christmas on ITV.
How are you, Steve? I'll go me some meeting.
Well, hi, Robert. Hiya.
2 minutes!
Asked if you could get some Gordon's gin.
Yeah. With a brand new Christmas special from the Larkins, it'll be a perfect Christmas on ITV.
Now on YTV, your match live from Blundell Park, where Grimsby Town take on Derby County. Your commentator...
Double opponents at home. The commentator at Blundell Park, John Helm.
Wolves haven't been to Blundell Park for a league game for 35 years, and they know that victory today will make it almost certain they won't be back again next year. But the form which put them on top of the table has been elusive recently, only 2 wins in 7 matches. And today's team lacks the inspirational qualities of Kenny Hibbett, who's suspended, so it's as well for Wolves that Wayne Clark is fit to resume after a bout of flu. Grimsby also have a key player suspended. Kevin Drinkle, who scored 21 of the club's 48 goals, has to sit this one out. And with on-loan defender Mike Saxby dropping out this morning, manager David Booth has been forced to reshuffle the depleted squad. So Paul Wilkinson, an 18-year-old striker who's had 3 run-outs as a substitute, starts a game for the very first time. So Grimsby, whose home form really has kept them in the top half of the table all season, kick off. Playing from left to right in the usual black and white.
Full of confidence. And certainly, Terry, they'll fancy their chances, won't they, against a Grimsby team who will play football and give them a chance to play their game too?
I think both sides play well against teams that play football. Grimsby have shown that with that win against Newcastle. Derby always try and play football, so I think you couldn't have chosen a better game to come here.
Grimsby's problem is that they don't score goals.
Yeah, that is it. They haven't got that killer instinct, I don't think, up front. They've got some nice players. Groves and Reese are good players, but whether they've got that killer instinct to see Derby off this afternoon, I just don't think so.
Who are the individuals you'll be watching out for this afternoon?
Well, there's my own boy, Pembridge, who is a smashing player. I know he costs a lot of money for a young player, but he is a very, very good player. Cool in midfield, has added a bit of steel to Derby. Woods up front for Grimsby has got plenty of skill, and I like to see him on the ball. OK, we'll see how that goes. We'll join our commentary team now, alongside John Helm this week, as the Sheffield United manager, Dave Bassett. John, it's all yours.
Thank you, Nick. For the second week running on YTV, then, we welcome to the region a team that just can't go wrong away from home. Derby County have just equalled a club record of 6 successive away wins, and this side looks to extend that sequence. Martin Taylor's in goal because Steve Sutton has an ankle injury, and the Dutchman, Richard Goulouz, is preferred to Jason Kavanagh at right back for tactical reasons. Well, at the age of 39, Steve Sherwood is drafted in to play for the first time this season for Grimsby because regular goalkeeper Rhys Wilmot suffered a back injury in training on Friday. This is Alan Buckley's lineup. Now the alterations from the side beaten at Millwall last week. And at left back, 18-year-old Gary Croft, who comes from Burton-on-Trent, very close to Derby. Manchester United is said to have watched him regularly over recent weeks. Dave Bassett alongside me, as you said, Nick, and a really nice festive atmosphere at Blundell Park, Dave.
Yeah, an excellent afternoon as well. Good afternoon for football. wintry afternoon, but a good one to make players run about.
And the referee today has come from Hartlepool, Ian Cruikshanks. It's the second time he's been at Blundell Park this season. He officiated in the Coca-Cola Cup tie against Barnsley. The conditions are good. As you can see on your picture there has been some overnight frost, but the ground has generally soaked it up well. That part is, of course, shaded beneath the main stand here. But a real buzz around the ground. They've been looking forward to the visit of Derby County just before Christmas for some time. And Derby have had more good news today. Their sponsors, SEBA, have told them that they're going to sponsor them for a further 2 years. So it's all good news. Let's see if it will be during the game. And, Gilbert's header there might well fall to Pembridge, Terry Yorth was talking about. And just as Newcastle put early pressure on Barnsley last Sunday, that's what I expect Derby County to do here this afternoon. When you've won 6 away on the trot, you must be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I think their away form has been incredible, and it's kept them in contention. If their away form had been as bad as their home, Derby would be lower down the league. But it's a game I think they've got to look to win again as away from home to keep in contention.
Gabbiadini almost won the ball from Futcher, the most experienced of defenders. Held up nicely by Rees. Now played down the line by Watson. The covering defender is Craig Short, number 4 there. Bottom of your picture, £2.5 million worth. The footballer. And just think 4 years ago he was working in a bank in Scarborough. Here's Forsyth, who's had a rather brutal haircut since last season. The skipper. Over the head of Graham Roger, who's there again. Martin Taylor. I saw some horrific gaps over the weekend with goalkeepers from back passes. So Martin Taylor able to clear that one satisfactorily from Derby's point of view. And now here's Rees once more. He was pushed by Short. Tony Rees holds the line exceedingly well. He's had a lot of injury problems over the last couple of years, and he's a player that's so influential for Grimsby.
Yes, he's a very similar player to Clive Mendonca in some ways, and he links up well with Big Woodsy. And he's able to also link up with the midfield players so that Grimsby can get forward.
Futcher's free kick for Grimsby. Chipped to the edge of the area. And it's going to fall here for Watson. Then Dobbin, Woods. They do play the ball around confidently. And now Gabbiadini with a chance to set something up for Derby County. Johnson, who's nimble, goes on. And then it's poked back to Sherwood. Ball clear. Totally convincingly, landed at Williams' foot. Now our first sighting of Richard Goulouz. Put out of play by Darren Wassell. Derby in their change strip, of course. They also favour black and white as their normal colours. Today they're in yellow and blue, with a dash of red across the sleeves. And that's young Croft, that we were talking about in our opening. Sherwood. Took his time over that, steadied himself. Dobbin. Gilbert, nice approach play, and the referee allows play to go on, although Gilbert was flattened, and that was sensibly done. And the first shot of the game coming in, it's gone over the top of Groves. The referee played a good advantage there.
Yeah, that was good advantage play by him. It would have been a free kick, but in fairness, Grimsby had the ball, so they could keep the momentum going.
Paul Groves in a good goal-scoring seam at the moment. He's got 5 in the last 6 matches. Quite amazing, really, that the entire Grimsby Town side has been assembled for £500,000. Derby County's is worth £9.5 million. But all that's on paper, of course. It's what happens on the pitch, on the green sward, that counts.
That's right, John.
Rees, something of a hack in the air. They win the ball back now with McDermott, that most steady of full-backs. Play it now wider for Rees. straight off Wassell. Forsyth trying to make sure it doesn't go out for the corner. But he's hemmed in. So it's good early pressure, this, from the home side. Got the Mariners versus the Rams here today. But now, and they've 2 men inside the penalty area. Oh, now it's broken kindly for Rees, who squares it over there. Oh, that's a good stop. Taylor got down very well indeed, under the gaze of Neil Woods, as the ball was cut back by Rees, and the young man did well there.
He did very well. Good low cross. Woods is in, and Taylor gets out there quite bravely. But it was a bad defensive error in the first place by the Derby player.
It's down on this side of the pitch that we might see defensive errors. It's more difficult to take a stud down here. It's that bit harder. Breaks for Grimsby. Butcher, and Woods is onside. He looked initially to get Grove through the middle, I think, but then changed his mind. And now there is an offside verdict against Rees. Tony Rees, a Midlander himself, of course, started his career with Aston Villa. Graham Rodger and Paul Futcher, the two Grimsby centre-backs there, holding the line. It's going to be met by Futcher under the challenge of Gabbiadini. The long ball might be effective today. And over the top here. Taylor thumps it downfield. Free kick given against Gabbiadini, who's having a bit of a lean spell by his own standards in terms of goals. He's not scored in the last 8 league matches. Futcher returns to the edge of the penalty area where Woods might win it. He does. Tries to get a shot in. It breaks. And then Rodger wasn't quite sure where it was. He was taken unawares there. So Goulouz is the sensible thing. Gabbiadini challenged fairly that time, and Derby don't seem to have the ball for some time. They're in danger of giving it away again here. Pressured into playing the ball back to Taylor. Kitson, the first time we've seen him really. Now it's Goulouz. Another go. The Dutchman. He's come in today in place of Kavanagh, and he's in there once more tussling for it, but Grimsby might break down the left. They do, and scuttling down that side goes little Gilbert. It was just too quick for him, too much pace on the ball. The best £50,000 with Alan Buckley ever spent, he says. Gilbert from Kettering. Williams, there's a lot of space on this side, and Forsyth seeks to utilise that space now. As though he might have been fouled there, but the referee says not. Hasn't really settled into any pattern yet, Dave.
No, both sides are playing fairly predictable. I mean, Grimsby have had the one, you know, which is a good chance, really. And Steve Sherwood's had a back pass so far.
Forsyth to Pembridge. And then Woods is able to nick it to his left. And then Groves does the same for the marauding Gilbert. And look at Croft darting up alongside him. Well, that's an 18-year-old youth for you, keen to get involved. Gets past one, does well, finds Rees, it's cut back, and that was unfortunate for Grimsby Town. Well, Gilbert had just overrun it. So it's up to Gabbiadini. With the throw in. Kitson. He's got pace, genuine pace. Whips it across, and that was dangerous, and it was Tommy Johnson coming in. Unfortunately for Grimsby, it was McDermott who'd gone across there to just put the ball out of play. It was McDermott.
Kitson does well here. He attacks the back of the defence, and Tommy Johnson in there at the near post, and Steve Sherwood, that could have been tricky, so just as well that McDermott put that away for a corner.
He's a very capable defender. And it's Derby's corner, the first of the game, and it's swung in towards Sherwood, who collects under no pressure at all and gets a right old roar at the pontoon end of the ground. They like to see an Oldham come back, don't they?
Yeah, well, he's done a good job here, and he's been a good servant for the club, Steve, and I think it's nice to see that every now and then, as long as it all works out right.
Yes, he's got his chances said at the start because of the injury to Wilmot. Gilbert manages to dispossess Goulouz, and then he's unlucky. The ball ricochets off him and out for the goal kick. That's Richard Goulouz. He does bear a striking resemblance to one Johnny Method, who came over here a few years ago, in one certain respect.
Might have his free kick in the bag. Looks a bit like Chris Price at Blackburn as well.
Foul given. Williams on Futcher. Gilbert looking for the piercing through ball between centre-back and full-back. That's going to be a throw-in for Grimsby. Most of the early pressure coming from them. They're keen to get on the right tracks again. They've won 3 games in a row and now they've lost their last 3. So they're down in 13th position at the moment. Derby in 10th. Up to Rees. It's funny how a team can be 10th in the division and yet everybody's still tipping them for promotion.
Yeah, well, I think it's the reputation, to some extent. And you look at the players that they've got or bought, that their names, people expect them to come back, but it's not as easy as that. I'm sure Arthur will be concerned that they're in that position at this stage of the season if they want promotion.
And Dave, I'm sure that's because every other team raises their game against them as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're a big club like Derby, you have to live with that if you're in the second division. Newcastle have the same, Sunderland have the same. You know, there's several big clubs there, and you have to cope with that, but you do have the finances and the ability to cope with that.
Still the early phases of the game, let's don't forget. We've not played quarter of an hour yet. There's Goulouz to Gabbiadini. The idea was nice, but the execution wasn't quite befitting. That's going to be a free kick in short again. Craig Short for the second time. And, he's letting Rees know he's there all right, isn't he? And Craig Short must be spoken to by Mr. Cruikshanks for that. That's a little enlarged, isn't it?
The rest probably suggesting he don't hit him.
Especially before Christmas. It's going to be a free kick for Grimsby, needless to say. And Gilbert predictably will take it, the smallest man on the Grimsby side. Then he hit it on the ground anyway, and Rees tried to backheel him into a gap. Kitson for Derby. Johnson might yet make something of that. The throw-in awarded to Grimsby Town and against Tommy Johnson. Rees trying to get Watson going. Haven't really got Watson into the game as yet down this right side. Interesting that the front players are not putting any pressure on Sherwood, as we so often see nowadays when the goalkeeper has to clear with the boot.
Well, I think some sides are leading it now because sometimes the ball favours the keeper and he can come on and clear it and you end up offside. So sometimes if the keeper's got good possession, there's not much point in chasing.
So the new rule's sorting itself out a bit, do you think?
I think people are beginning to learn to try and cope with it in the right situation. I think it's been a good rule that's been good for the game.
Here, it's brightened it up. And certainly kept the ball in play much longer. Woods.
Well, it's certainly better than seeing the goalkeeper roll it out to the edge of the box. The centre half does a little dance on the ball and then passes it back. You know, it just wastes time, and this way it means that the ball's in play a lot more.
Another free kick for Grimsby, this time against Forsyth, the Derby captain. It'll certainly give Grimsby a lift if they could get the first goal. Once more it's Gilbert, this time from the right-hand flank and floating it in left-footed. It's a good one. There's Roger up there challenging for it, and then it's nodded back. Here's Watson. He can't get the shot in. And then a little chip through didn't work. So Derby's break on. Here's Kitson. Got a bit of space to work with now. Kitson plays the ball across, all the way across, in fact, to Pembridge. Early ball in. Sherwood should claim it. And again, he gets a roar of acclaim. That's headed back, so Taylor can get his hands on that. 0-0 the match at Blundell Park, coming to you live, Grimsby and Derby County. Terry Yorod's with us this afternoon as well. Terry, your early thoughts?
I think Grimsby have settled just a little bit better in Derby at the moment, John. The problem I think Derby have got is that they're right back. I'm certain he's used to playing with a sweeper, and they could have problems down that side.
Yeah, Grimsby certainly settling quite nicely in midfield as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they look good, and they're trying to play football. And I think at the moment they're looking the better side.
Oof, dearie me, that's the sort of thing that we were talking about earlier. The clearance from Sherwood, straight into the back.
Give and go off the opposition.
Nearly an in-off, wasn't it?
New concept.
That was off Martin Cool. That's a huge punt from Taylor. That's going to go all the way through, perhaps to the other end, where it's Gavriadini tussling and getting the shot in, slicing it wide of the left-hand upright. But that's straight from one goalkeeper to the other and straight back down the field, and that might have been route one to go.
That's a good effort. Gavriadini does well, and he reacts to the ball there, and he gets in an early shot. He's a little bit unfortunate there.
Well, I think it just slewed off the side of the boot, didn't it, really?
That's right. He didn't have much time to react to it, like all strikers don't have, and Paul Future was coming across, but I think that was a good effort, considering.
Didn't quite control it. Didn't matter because Grimsby won the ball. Just a point on that, Dave, and I'm going to ask you about your own man here. Gabbiadini is having a bit of a thin time scoring goals, and that's the sort of thing that happens, as is happening with Brian Deane at the moment at Sheffield United.
That's right. All strikers go through it, and they have to get on with it, and they have to be positive and not get negative thoughts about they're not going to score. And that was a fair effort. He took it first time, Gabbiadini. So I don't think anybody can criticise him in that respect. If it ends up in the net, everybody's delighted. If he doesn't shoot, he's not going to score.
Grimsby enjoying the majority of possession in this game. They've got a great home record this season. They've won here 4 times, drawn 3 of their matches and lost twice. That's not a bad ball up the middle towards Groves, and Gulu's spotting that, came across, but he's worked well. Let's give him back. Here's Watson. Going to dance his way around Forsyth. Lays the ball down the line. That was an intelligent ball for Rees, so he's given offside. That's disappointing. At first it looked as though he hadn't been given, and then the linesman on the far side of the ground raised the flag.
Not one of those easy positions to see. It's very tight. It looks as if he's level. You know, from the camera, it looks like he was level.
Certainly when the ball was played, I think he was. It's a tough job being a linesman, especially on a cold day, and it is quite cold up here. We've got a lovely view of the North Sea estuary from our position on the gantry at Grimsby.
Looks very appetising to go swimming.
You're first. Throw in, Pembridge for Derby County. And he can throw a long ball. Well into the penalty area, comes back out for Forsyth. Pembridge might try a more conventional cross now. With the foot, he does so. Cool was up there, and Futcher's clearance. Forsyth again. Cool. Well, they've a lot of men around here, but Futcher saw what the danger was and nick that one in the bud. Gilles will keep it in play. A good spell from Derby. Gabbiadini picked himself up and still have time to get the pass out to Johnson now. This ball then looks dangerous, and coming on here at the back post was Craig Short. Wasn't a bad header either, but Grimsby got bodies around, but that's the nearest Derby have come.
Yeah, it was a good effort. Tommy Johnson put a good cross into the far post, and Craig Short's arrived on the back post, and he's got his header back across the goal, and fortunately for Grimsby, Paul Future's there to clear it away. Another day, Gabbiadini scoring his goals would have just been in front to toe-end it in.
It's free kick for Derby County. Could even have gone in from short from that angle.
Yeah, could have done, and possibly even seen defenders put those away quite comfortably. But it was a good far post cross, driven and in a good angle for Short to be able to get a good header in.
So Taylor drives the free kick for Derby County up towards the edge of the area. Williams knocks it on past Futcher. The referee has waved play on. Again, he's played the advantage rule there. And then it's come away off Kitson, and that will be a goal kick. The Gary Lineker look-alike. And England would hope for a player like in the future. He's certainly a promising player.
Yes, they paid a lot of money from Leicester for the boy. He played in the reserves and he was scoring goals, and he got into the Leicester team on merit, and Derby moved in very quickly for him. So, you know, they've obviously seen some potential there.
Watson. Derby covering well at the moment. They're covering all the angles. And although Rees ran over the ball, it was well read at the back. McDermott, it's broken for Woods. Grimsby still have people up in and around the edge of the area. Woods has got past Forsyth with some difficulty. Good ball in, however. Comes now for Watson, and his knockback Williams intercepted. A mad tussle down there for the moment, but it's broken now for Johnson. Interesting ball from him. Goulouz and Gilbert. Gilbert wins. Another go. And he does. And now he goes up the middle. Woods. There are three Grimsby men in here. Oh, he just couldn't find Gilbert. He had two options. He could have played it wide for Watson. He tried to play Gilbert through the middle, and it just didn't quite come off.
No, I think he was balanced to actually play it out to Watson better, but obviously he must have got a call from Gilbert to try a little reverse ball.
Fair dues. Something we can't do. We can't hear what they're saying from up here.
No, and they have decisions to make quickly, and it's easy to be up here and say he should have done this or that. When you're down there with the ball at your feet, it's not quite as easy.
Woods now finds Watson, and Grimsby looking sprightly, but it's broken for Johnson on the Derby side, who matches pace over 30 or 40 yards against McDermott. Johnson's done really well there. That's not to say McDermott didn't, because he's taken the sting out of the attack. Gabbiadini is wriggling his way through inside the penalty area until Futcher stops him. What a good signing Paul Futcher has been for Grimsby Town. Everybody who was saying that they thought he might have been past it when he came here. He'd come from Halifax Town on a free. He's been outstanding for them over 2 seasons.
Well, he's been a very good player all his career, Paul, and he's an experienced guy who knows what he's doing, and you can see that he's in good condition, and all credit to Alan Buckley when he saw him at Halifax, in that he saw that he could do a good job for him here, and he's certainly done that. Lasted a bit longer than his brother Ron, but mind you, he's playing up front, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, for a lot of clubs. Andy Paul's had 8.
Not as many as Tommy Doherty.
Nobody's had as many as Tommy Doherty, I don't think, Baines.
No, quite right.
Classic will later be naming our Barclays man of the match in this game, and this is going to come through to Steve Sherwood, who hasn't really had a chance to stake his claim, I don't think, but he's had a shot to save really yet. Forsyth met that well, but still Grimsby pick it up, and they work the ball nicely in tight areas. This is through to Woods. He wasn't quite sure where it was going there. It's a noble shot to put it out of play. Still Grimsby Town 0, Derby County 0. Just like Newcastle last week, Derby generally scoring away games. They failed only once in the last 16 matches to score a goal, so we'll be very unlucky if we don't see a goal in this game.
Don't tempt fate, John.
No, that's the problem, isn't it? It's the worst of statistics, isn't it?
Yep, always proves you wrong.
Butcher was in well, and he carries on. There was an appeal for a handball. There might be... well, Butcher's got to get back quickly now, but Groves has won it for Grimsby. Did well. It's given Butcher some time to get back, and he'll appreciate that. Watson, the Liverpudlian, and we televised a live game earlier this season at Birmingham. He was so unlucky. He had a great shot against the post in that match. He generally gets half a dozen goals a season. Grimsby controlling things nicely at the moment. Well, that was well played. Rees, Dobbin, now well, I was just going to say we know he can hit them, as we saw at the start of the programme with that winning goal at Newcastle. I'm afraid that wasn't quite in the same category. Alan Buckley and Arthur Mann, the think tank here at Grimsby Town. Alan Buckley now been the manager here since June 1988, and what a great job he's done. He's brought them up 2 divisions.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job. He's a good man, Alan. He's a very honest person, and he did a good job at Walsall before he came here, and you know, the board must be well pleased with him here.
And Kettering, of course, he cut his teeth there, didn't he? Look at that, Grimsby had 4 men around the ball there. Still trying to come to terms with it in the midfield in particular. Look at that, you see, they're being hustled all the time.
Yeah, there's some good pressurising from Grimsby there. I mean, one's got to say that Grimsby are controlling the game without getting the efforts on goal, really.
That's right, they might get one now. It's just that far, a bit far ahead of Groves, but they're still up there. Plenty of people in black and white shirts in advanced positions. Here are 2 of them, Watson, 2 for Rees, bundled up it by Wassell. They're glad to have him back in the side. Darren Wassell, he picked up an awful infection in the leg in an Anglo-Italian game. And he's missed the last 4 league games, back today. Now there's a break for Derby, possibilities here. Kitson cutting the ball back, it doesn't quite come through to Williams. Now Gabbiadini might put some pressure on Sherwood's clearance. It was alright, he found Gilbert with it. Taylor going to do? He nearly slipped and then whipped it out to Forsyth. There's considerable relief on the faces of goalkeepers when they do manage to get themselves out of trouble like that. And Derby have played their way out of that situation nicely. Perhaps we shouldn't expect too many goals today. Last season, Derby won here 1-0, a Marco Gabbiadini goal, and when they played at the baseball ground, it was 0-0. Maybe they cancel each other out a little.
Yeah, at the moment, there's not particularly much oomph about the game. Each team has its possession, but there's no real sort of fire in terms of commitment. It's, you know, a little bit of a laid-back game. I think both sides are still testing one another out.
A good flick, here's Gabbiadini, it just didn't break for him. Kitson, and then it's cleared by Groves, and it's Grimsby's turn to come. Watson down the line, Rees trying to turn his man, and a lovely ball up the middle for Woods, and Taylor off his line very quickly there. So plenty of brightness around. The goalkeeper was very alert there, he saw the danger immediately. Yeah,
he was supporting his back players very quickly. But Derby had a chance there from the long throw with Pembridge, and Short got the touch, and Gabbiadini and Kitson were in there at that particular time, and possibly Gabbiadini might have shot if he'd have been scoring. There we go back to the clearance by the keeper where he's done well.
Up to Kitson. Galouz. Cool. Martin Cool used to be with your club there at Sheffield United.
Yeah, Martin didn't actually play when I was there He was injured that early period when I arrived at the club, and then we had an offer from Watford, and I was able to get 3 players for Martin going there, really, so it was good business for us and for also Martin.
And he's evolved again there. Sweeping the ball, there's left to Pembridge, up to Williams. Somehow it's found its way out to Johnson. Cool now, with the ball through for Gabbiadini, and it bobbled from his foot. And again, Grimsby looked for the ball over the top of Darren Wassell. There's one for Taylor to clear. Woods was coming in on him. Offside, got to be. Woods was about 10 yards off. Half an hour gone. Grimsby Town 0, Derby County 0.
That was a good opportunity where the centre forward Woods could go in on the goalkeeper, because he was able to get close to him, and he could have got a possible blocking.
Williams forced backwards, but Pembridge takes it up. Good ball from him. And Goulouz plays a very intelligent first-time ball into Williams inside Grimsby's penalty area. It's come back to Goulouz. Called for handball. He won it a second time, and now Williams tries to trick his way through with the use of everything he's got. And that will be a free kick against Paul Williams.
Bit unnecessary, really. They were on the attack, you know, giving a free kick away there, just let Grimsby off the hook. Had it even gone to the Grimsby defender, he could have worked him to get it out.
So we've gone through half an hour and it's still 0-0. Another free kick given by Mr. Cruikshank to Derby County. Although it's just so tight in this division, Derby would go up 5 places, or could go up 5 places if they win today. Terry Oreth, your thoughts now? Derby just beginning to come back into the game a little.
Yeah, they've made a few half chances. Future knocked that one off the line, and Gabbiadini was had good possession in the penalty area. But it's still Grimsby who are playing a better football. But it's Grimsby's lack of pace up front that's really killing them. If they had more pace up there, they could get behind Derby with all the possession that they've got.
Yes, you said to Nick in the chat before the start of the game that, you know, it has been their problem scoring goals this season, hasn't it?
It is, and you know what, for all their possession, for all their nice play on the ball, you can't really see them scoring a lot of goals.
And let's be fair, they're without Clive Mandonka today as well, who's their top scorer. So that was a blow for them. Clive Mandonka out with a head injury at the moment. He sustained that a couple of weeks ago. We're now at Derby with Kitson. Flat ball in, no trouble for Futcher. Pembridge able to touch it wide for Goulouz. That's a good ball in, and Kitson has got Williams in here. This should be 1-0, and a great stop by Sherwood with his legs. Cut back in by Gabbiadini. McDermott's clearance will go back to him though, and Derby still have their chances here inside the penalty box. And then it's floated in much too close to the goalkeeper. I'm not quite sure whether he was trying to chip him, but he didn't quite get it right.
No, there was good play by Derby. It's a good layoff by Kitson, and Paul Williams is there. He should have done better, but you know, got to give credit to Steve Sherwood. He's got an excellent blocking. You know, he's kept Grimsby level.
And the crowd is singing there's only one Steve Sherwood.
Well, there is at the moment, because he's kept him level at the moment.
Yes, Grimsby had a slight problem, I think it's fair to say, this season. They signed Rhys Wilmot, and he started very well. 1 or 2 dodgy spells. Then they had Dave Besant here on loan, did exceptionally well, but decided to go back to Chelsea.
That's right. I think they were unbeaten with David playing here. You know, but David's a good keeper, and it was obvious that he was here just to cover for Rhys Wilmot till he recovered, who is also a good keeper.
Oops, to go around the circles a bit here. Well, he still managed to get it up to Tommy Watson in the end. That was all that mattered. For the first goal of this game, and it's Derby who are on the attack, but Dobbin effecting the clearance from the edge of his own area, as far as Darren Wassell. So from the Nottingham Forest starting this season. Watson from McDermott. This is better from Derby's point of view. I'm just stringing together a few passes. But, Futcher did well there. He saw that Gilbert was wide on his left. Managed to get the ball out to him, and Futcher trying to find his way past Goulouz. Dutchman's done all right down there so far.
Yes, he's a leggy player, and I think, as Terry said, he looks like he's used to a sweeper system, and he looks like he wants to attack more than he does defend him.
Woods tried to chest it down into the path of Rees, but again Derby had bodies around. South seems to have been a fixture at Derby County. He cost only 25,000 from West Bromwich Albion, so he's just about the cheapest player in the team, but he's been one of the most loyal. Groves allowed it to run through to Rees. Gives him it back. I think Derby, Grimsby do well. They run well off the ball. They create options for players passing it. Oh, Croft was really taken out this time. That's going to be a free kick. And it's also going to be the first booking, and I think Craig Short knew it. The second he picked himself up, he walked towards the referee. Not much doubt about this, Dave, I don't think.
No, he's chasing in. The boy Cross laid it off, and he stuck his foot out, and he's gone over it. It wasn't a bad injury. He might have got 2.5 at the Olympics.
A yellow for Short. And Woods plays it nicely. This is good. Here's Dave Gilbert. Fine save from Martin Taylor. Gilbert struck it well. It was sweet.
That was a well-worked free kick here, which they played off. It's gone in, and Rees has laid it off for the runner Gilbert, who started the free kick by playing it off to Croft. They'd worked that early in the game, and they should have scored there, really.
Well, Gilbert's only got one goal this season, and he definitely struck it too close to the goalkeeper. He didn't have much time to think about it there. Snapped at it, hit it well.
It's a good chance. I mean, I think the two chances that have fallen to Williams and Gilbert, you know, really, you've got to be looking for them to score. Both managers will be disappointed that the players haven't scored in those situations.
Well, they certainly prized Derby open in Grimsby then. In possession. Groves to Rees. Surrounded by yellow shirts. Taylor. Right. What they practice on the training ground. That's not well, and here goes Woods again, galloping up the middle, but Taylor's come to meet it.
They did well there, Grimsby. The goalkeeper cleared the ball. Woods and Rees were offside, so they had to retain possession to let them get onside, which they did.
There's some news coming up for you in a moment. We'll just see what develops here. So Futcher's able to clear up to Rees, and then the ball swept wide to Gilbert. That's going to be a free kick, and it just gives me time to tell you a result in the Premier Division, which will be of certain interest to you, Dave, and a lot of people. It's Crystal Palace 1, Leeds United 0. Andy Thorne scored the goal, so Palace's improvement continues, and Leeds' decline, we have to say, certainly away from home continues. They just cannot win away from home this season. Here's a cross for Grimsby, a good one as well. Rees! Great save, Taylor again. Rees couldn't have done any better. Taylor certainly couldn't.
Yeah, there was an excellent cross from Gilbert, and Rees has arrived on the ball. It's a good header. May have put it down, but the keeper's done very well as well.
It was certainly destined for the net. Still it's 0-0. So we had two good chances in the last couple of minutes, and each time young Martin Taylor has been equal to it, because he learnt his trade under Peter Shilton, didn't he? Can't learn from anybody better. The corner for Grimsby, headed out by Forsyth. Here's Dobbin, put wide. Good spell from Grimsby this, and it's deserved a goal, really.
Well, they've come back into it the last few minutes, and this is a good corner, and the two Derby players sort of getting one another's way. And Dobbin does well. He hasn't got a lot of time, and he takes a first-time shot. And it's one of those. If it goes in, it's a great goal.
But that's 3 excellent efforts now that Grimsby have contrived in the space of the last 3 or 4 minutes. But it's the ball hitting the net that counts. Still 0-0. I would think that Grimsby will be well pleased with the way they've fended away one of the top teams in the division.
Oh, they'd be pleased with their performance because over the full 45 minutes they've done better. They've been the better team. They've had 1 or 2 good chances as well, and they could have created 1 or 2 more, but they've had, you know, that early cross in the game from Rees. Came in for Rees, which the keeper saved, and they've had a couple of good efforts. And Derby can really say, other than the long throw and the cross, and the other effort by Williams, they've had very little to show.
From Croft, Gilbert's touch not quite good enough, but it's still come through to Croft. Breaks for Dobbin. Got men alongside him. Rees, that was a nice little layoff from him. It didn't quite work, but they're still coming. They're really buzzing at the moment at Grimsby. Derby having all on to contain them. But it's Grimsby's throw-in as well. Sure, they'd love to get one before half-time. It's a psychological thing. We saw last week at Barnsley how Newcastle had so many chances in the first half but didn't score. And that was important in the final analysis. Dermot, Williams in the way. Williams is working very hard to try and redress the balance really for Derby County. The free kick from Wassell up to Johnson. Over the halfway line, Wassell won it and Rees is impeding him. It's like hard work for Tony Rees out there. But he's led the line well, as he always does. Nice little flicks and touches. Oh, little Gilbert won it from the taller Goulouz, and it sets Grimsby going once more. They've generally concentrated their attacks down that left. And that's where they've gone again with Groves. Now Dobbin. Williams won the ball fairly according to the referee. He's left Dobbin down on the ground and Grimsby down to 10 men for the moment as Derby continue. Johnson's ball up here. Kitson turning, giving it to Williams, finding Pembridge, and Kitson again. Blocked edge of the penalty area, and Kitson is the one who the referee decides was doing all the fouling then. He looks a bit perplexed by it all. It might have had something to do with what happened 30 seconds earlier.
Yeah, I thought it was a free kick, but obviously the referee saw it differently. I thought Paul Williams had fouled Dobbin. I think Dobbin thought he was going to get the free kick. But he's okay, he's up and running.
Rees. Again, Woods and Rees combine, and inside the penalty area is Croft now. Great ball across as well, and Watson just beat to it by Forsyth. Nice little ball in from young Gary Croft. Forsyth had to be alert. Corner for Grimsby Town. Can they score from it? Watson poised. And well, the goalkeeper's going to be put under more pressure here, but he was able to come and gather. They really have finished the first half very strongly.
Yeah, they had the early part of the game, and Derby got back in it for a little spell for 10 minutes or so, and then they finished up very strongly. They're getting down their left-hand side because really Kitson's being asked to play out there, and he doesn't really want to play wide, and so they're able to get a 2v1 situation with Croft and Gilbert against the fullback.
Taking it back from Graham Roger. They're laying the ball over for Pembridge. This is cool. Up the middle goes Johnson. A great chance here for Tommy Johnson. Past the keeper. Johnson scores. A really excellent goal. Beautifully created. A goal born of a team in form.
Yeah, that's a very good play. Martin Call slips an excellent ball through. The defence, Paul Future's caught out there. Johnson's in a nice position. He's quick. He's done well. He's taken it round the goalkeeper and finished expertly.
Very sharp indeed. The ball was excellent from Cool. Johnson knew exactly where he was going. He knew what Sherwood was going to do. Danced around him and pulled it across into the net. And Tommy Johnson's goal is 8th of the season. That means he's scored in the last 3 league games now, so he's on a bit of a roll. And it's changed the complexion of the game a little.
Well, Derby would be pleased to be going in 1-0 down because Grimsby have had overall the better chances, but yet again, you know, Grimsby are not turning their territorial advantage into goals, and that's really what matters at the end of the day.
So there we have it. You see a goal coming in the last minute of the first half from Tommy Johnson, the club's most expensive signing last season. And so it's Grimsby Town, having had so much pressure, who are trailing here. Grimsby Town 0, Derby County 1. We're back after the break.
Le Piador!
Le Piador.
The BT Sunday Special.
Listen to this, man.
Today, you can call anywhere in the United Kingdom.
All at the local cheap rate. So spread the good news and give someone a ring, or else you might regret it. And that would be such a dreadful shame.
Target sighted, going in. Stop! Fire at will! No! Stop!
Well, that makes a refreshing change.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Woodpecker, what a refreshing change!
Okay, you're asking what kind of guy needs this many forever ready gold seal batteries, right?
You're a pink toothbrush, I'm a blue toothbrush. Have we met somewhere?
Well, what can I tell you?
You're a pink toothbrush.
You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me love you. And all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it. You made me happy. Sometimes. My hero.
The aftershave, my Fabergé.
Don't miss the amazing Super Nintendo Action Pack. It comes ready to fire with 6 great games. All the excitement of the Super Nintendo console, scope accessory and 6 games.
Hello, Harpers. Can you transfer some old 8mm Cinefilm to video? You can.
Happy birthday, Mum.
What a great gift. Let's see, shall we?
Aye, he was a good-looking fella, your dad.
No matter how life goes, with all its joys and woes, I never feel in a jam. I guess I'm just an amicable man. That's right. Got no worries financially. Got a pension and policy. My family.
With a pension from Scottish Amicable, you won't have to worry, whatever way you look at it. Scottish Amicable. Pensions, life assurance, endowments, investments.
Welcome welcome back to Blundell Park. It's Grimsby Town 0, Derby County 1 at half-time, and Terry Yorth, Grimsby just a little bit unlucky, I would have thought.
I think more than that, really. Although Derby have had a couple of good chances, I think that Grimsby have had most of the game, have played some smashing football, but just haven't had that killer instinct where it counts.
The killer blow came just before half-time. We have a quick look at the goal now. And it was a terrific ball through from Martin Cool.
Yes, it was. Plenty of space there. And Johnson just goes on with it. Down the keeper who committed himself. Defender was a bit unlucky. He's got back. I thought for a time he was going to clear it, but it was a well-worked goal.
Now, you're a manager. How does that affect Alan Buckley's mood and what he says at half-time?
Well, he shouldn't change him, because what he was going to say at half-time, and what he will be saying, is keep on doing the things you've been doing, especially up the left-hand side, where I think they can get a lot more joy than they've had, even though they've played up there. The right back for Derby, I don't think he's a good defender anyway.
This is going to lose the Dutchman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he'll just say carry on, you know, if we get a break, we'll get a goal, and after that, anything can happen.
It was up that left-hand side they produced a terrific move from the free kick, where Dave Gilbert played a 1-2, played two 1-2s, in fact. We can have a quick look at that now. And in the end, Gilbert was a little bit unlucky with a shot.
This is the football they've been playing all half. You know, good ball in, good layoff, good striker. Unfortunately for him, it strayed the keeper.
Didn't keep it down.
Well, I think he kept it down. I think any corner it would have done. Good move.
They haven't quite got the bite up front, have they?
That's the problem, isn't it? You know, that's, they play pretty football. You know, you can sometimes call it five-a-side football, but they haven't got the pace, and they really haven't got that centre forward who's a killer.
And they're missing Clive Mendonca, to be absolutely fair about.
Well, yes, you have to be fair to him. He's their top goal scorer, and he might have scored today.
The other best chance that they had came from Tony Rees. Again, it was Gilbert involved. Again, It was down the left. And Gilbert, I thought, great cross. And Rees does well, doesn't he?
Well, he's come inside on his right foot and crossed it there, and he's a long way out. It's a powerful header. The keeper, I think, made a little bit more of it than he should have done.
You were saying to me during the match that the goalkeeper is threatening to commit one of these awful errors on the back pass that we've seen once or twice this season.
He seems very relaxed about it, but he keeps getting himself nearly caught, and it wouldn't surprise me if one of the forwards gets a foot to it and blocks it.
Now, what about the Derby County dressing room? They'll be fairly happy. Now, would they be sitting back on the 1-0, or is that going to be fatal for them?
I think the way that they've lined up with Kitson on the right and the boy playing out here on the left, and with Gabbiadini down the middle, I think they were looking to see if they could get a break with Gabbiadini behind defenders. But they've got the goal, they've got that break, and I wouldn't see them changing. And
Kitson is finding plenty of space, and I could see Kitson finding a clear header if they're not careful.
Well, Kitson's been given a job to do, to play on the right-hand side, and like Dave said, I don't think he enjoys that, and that's maybe exposing the right back. So I think Derby will be thinking about their right-back position, that right-hand side of the field, and making sure that they don't get caught out again.
OK, well, we'll see if they do get caught out when you join us again for the second half. Can Grimsby come back? They're certainly good enough. Join us again after the break.
I reckon we'll be all right if we lose some weight off the back.
She's a good sport, your missus.
Australians wouldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for anything else.
Kelly LeBrock reveals the essence of man.
It's in the way he laughs, the way he smiles. Brute. The essence of man.
Okay, you're asking what kind of guy needs this many Forever Ready Gold Seal batteries, right?
You're a pink toothbrush, I'm a blue toothbrush. Have we met somewhere?
What more can I tell you?
You're a pink toothbrush. My very latest cups! If you don't want to hear your buns go crack, if you don't want a frazzling galactic flash, if you want to stop the lemmings on the suicide run, or blitz T2 with his menacing gun. If you're going to beat 6 menacing games, you need a lot more power in those brains.
If you want to be a Sega nut, get a Cybo 2-stroke pass.
To be this good takes Sega, boy.
Puss. No.
Catwoman. Oh, go on, go on.
Catwoman. No. Puss in Boots. Pictionary. The most fun you can have with a pencil.
Meow.
Mum, I bought these for Father Christmas.
But he'll be far too busy to eat all those.
Just Brazils. You give them because you love them.
This man has already shaved this morning, and now he's taking the Brawn Challenge with the revolutionary Brawn Flex Control.
Feels good. Feels really comfortable.
We wanted to see how the pivoting head and twin foils followed the contours of his face for a really close shave.
Actually, I can tell where it cuts and where it doesn't need to cut anymore. Thanks, that feels good. Really good. Can I take it?
Then we checked how much the Brawn had taken off.
Feels good. I like it.
Once you take the Brawn Challenge, we think you'll agree you haven't shaved till you've shaved with a Brawn.
After words, silence. After fire, ice. After time, peace. After dark, Tia Maria.
Welcome back to the second half of this First Division game, coming to you live from Blundell Park here on Yorkshire Television. Players just coming out for that second half. Grimsby Town wondering if they can come back from a goal down, the goal just before the interval. Where do you see the breakthrough coming if Grimsby are going to get back into this?
Well, if I was Alan Buckley, I'd be emphasising that they have had chances and they have been playing well. But I would just say to the midfield players, can you get in behind there? Can you create a chance for us or get in and out a strike on goal? Because they seem quite happy to sit in behind the strikers. If the strikers haven't got pace, then they have to get in the penalty area.
They've got Mark Smith on the bench, who's got a little bit of pace. Would you be looking to bring him on, or not yet?
Not yet. I think it's when it gets to the desperate stakes, I think you throw him on. But, you know, I'd be quite content with him.
And Arthur Cox will have just been saying, just be sensible, keep it exactly as it is.
He'd be saying to his two right side players, have a bit of discipline and win the game.
And what's your thought on sticking your neck out? You said to me at the start you thought Grimsby were going to control this and win it, and it's not looking quite so likely now.
I would still go along with a Grimsby win if they could score early in this half. If they don't, then obviously they're going to get frustrated.
So we shall wait and see whether Grimsby do get the early goal. Just a reminder, if you're just joining us, of the Premier League score that we've had in from London. It's Crystal Palace 1, Leeds United 0. Now let's pick up the second half here at Blundell Park with John Helm.
Thank you, Nick. Interesting to see if what Terry Yorath said happens here, and they do try and get those midfield players in and support people like Jim Dobbin and Paul Groves. Groves has had a good spell recently, but he's not quite got as involved as I'm sure Alan Buckley would like in this match.
Well, Alan likes his midfield player. Sean Cunnington used to do it here to get into the box, and he gets his front players pulling wide and creating little angles and to try and get them break through the middle. Groves has tried to do that, and he's been just missing on one or two occasions, but having said that, Grimsby haven't been able to get the ball into that area at that vital time.
No substitutions made as yet. And another question for you, Dave. How much do you think that goal for Derby County is going to change the emphasis of the game?
I think Derby will keep their three in midfield and they'll try and keep solid and hope that they can catch Grimsby on the break again.
They're trying to catch them now inside this penalty area. Kitson turning with it. Cool will drive one in. He'll pull it across towards Williams, who gets the first chance of the second half. And they clearly look a little bit lifted by it. They're a goal up.
Well, they would be. They'd go in and think we didn't necessarily deserve to be 1-0 up at half-time. That gives you a lift, and this is a good chance there, where Derby had three players on the back, and the Grimsby full-back had sat in when the rest of the team are moving out.
Derby, like Grimsby, do tend to play the ball along the ground up front, which is good because they haven't got a big man up there. They haven't got a Harford or a Brian Dean or anybody like that.
No, that's right. If you haven't got a biggest centre forward, there's no point in keep slinging the ball in the air. You've got to work it in other ways. And Alan's always done that, although on occasions they could hit Woods because he's not a midget.
So Tommy Johnson's goal for Derby will be real incentive for them to go on and create yet another record, their 7th successive away league win, which is astonishing in this day and age. They have actually once before won 6 in a row away. Here's Tony Rees, might just get in, the keeper comes, and once more Martin Taylor does his job really well. And Rees looks to me to be just a little bit of agony there.
Yeah, whether he tweaked a hamstring or not, I'm not sure.
Well, they can ill afford to lose him. There's a back header which quite come off, unfortunately the second one did.
It was interesting, that was one of the first balls that Grimsby had actually hit over the back of Derby. Then it was an angle ball and it had short in all sorts of problems, and Rees looked quite sharp getting after it.
Yes, I thought there were just a couple of occasions in the first half where they got over the top of the defence and looked dangerous. Now Gilbert will try and work away inside the penalty area. Well, there's no question of that being a penalty. He lost his footing as he tried to come inside Goulou's. Say about Derby County, the previous time they won 6 away in a row, it was spread over 2 seasons. This time it's all been in the same campaign.
That's an excellent record to win 6 away on the trot, and if they could achieve 7th, it'd have, set them up as long as they can get their home form going right.
Yeah, they've actually lost 7 at home this season. Quite extraordinary. Anyway, here at Grimsby, Croft. He's got support. Well played, Gilbert, getting into space there. Rees wanted it early on. He's been really unlucky on 2 occasions. He went for the cross and the rebound favoured Derby County. It came off Dave Gilbert. Arthur Cox has managed Derby County longer than any other post-war manager. Alongside him, Roy McFarland, well known in these parts, of course. Used to manage Bradford City. England international, of course. Chested down by Rees, but unable to do much with it. So now Taylor is put under pressure by Woods. Well, Terry Yorth was talking at half-time about the goalkeeper. Maybe dropping a clanger. Well, Grimsby have won it. And it all stems from the goalkeeper's original clearance. Here comes McDermott to win a corner.
Well, in the old days, the goalkeeper would have picked that up and we're all gone up to the halfway line. It's created just a little bit more interest.
Good point. Good new law. Corner for Grimsby. They need an equaliser, though. With all their pressure, they haven't scored yet. It's coming here for Dobbin. Dobbin shot! Turned aside by Taylor once more. Jim Dobbin really cracked that one, and Taylor gets a pat on the head. He deserves that.
Yeah, another good effort by Dobbin. He's hit the target and made the keeper save.
Spectacular stuff here. Grimsby's corner again. Roger was up there for us. It's coming down for Gilbert. Now it's Croft. And the little poke back in is smothered by the keeper. Rees seems to have recovered from that little knock which forced him to grimace a moment or 2 ago. And this goalkeeper is a candidate for man of the match already.
Yeah, he's pulled off 1 or 2 good saves. I wouldn't say at the moment he's actually had to keep Derby in the game. He's done the saves that you'd expect him to do.
The man of the match, the Barclays man of the match, gets a bottle of champagne. Here's Johnson, the scorer of the 1 goal so far this afternoon. Laying it back for Forsyth. Williams has made an intelligent run here. He does that very well and cuts it back, but here's Paul Futcher. This clearance finds Rees. Very nifty with his footwork is Tony Rees, but Derby getting men around once more. Woods trying to deny space for Derby County. No frills this time from Taylor. Woods was in an offside position, but the referee said play on. Derby had possession.